Thank you very much, Kyne. Look, I'd like to welcome the Minister and compliment those involved in this bill, to Senator O'Loughlin in particular, as the lead speaker. I do welcome, first of all, the debate. I think it's an important one. Hate crime and hate speech is something that you never know from one day to the next who could be impacted upon it, and I think any attempt to involve and impose heavier penalties is something to be welcomed. I think that the bill, I think, has been I think worked on quite well, and it encompasses a number of different areas, including issues in relation to an individual's asylum or refugee status, race, colour, religion, nationality, ethnicity, disability, sexual orientation, transgender identity, sex characteristics, age or perceived age, and to provide for related matters. And all these areas are areas that evidence has shown are something that people have suffered from abuse, suffered from hate speech and hate crime. So particularly those, obviously there's a history in relation to LGBT communities, those whether it be in relation to disabilities who were constantly discriminated against anyway, and obviously those with very difficult situations regarding transgender identity. I know the last government has done a lot of work in relation to the whole area of transgender in particular, and I suppose we've been approached by a number of individuals who've made submissions regarding concerns that they have, and that the bill could cause problems for some within the LGBT community. And they stem from concerns regarding the Gender Recognition Act of 2015, which obviously we would have been involved with as the previous government and all past members of this House and the other House. And obviously we celebrated the introduction of that groundbreaking legislation, and the main problems that arises because the idea of gender being replacing the idea of biological sex, and it lets someone who identifies as the male gender to be recognised by the state as a biological male, and for someone who identifies as female to be recognised as a biological female. So there are concerns within the LGBT community in relation to some aspects of this bill, which I obviously know would not have been the intent, certainly, of the drafters of it, and I'm sure that the bill, if it was allowed to go to the next stage, some of these issues could be ironed out within committee deliberations, because I think that's important. Obviously the purpose of the bill is to make provision in law for hate crime against persons on the basis, as I said, of asylum or refugee status. And that's an issue that a lot of us have experience in dealing with very, very vulnerable people who are discriminated against because of who they are, because of their race, because of their status in society. And I've had direct experience in the last year in my previous role in that whole area, and one that's fraught with difficulties. So I can very much understand the rationale behind a bill that will give additional and added protections to individuals who face that level of discrimination and who are the victims of such hate crimes. Obviously, as I mentioned, sexual orientation and transgender identity. We have done a lot as I said, a government that we can be proud of, and would support cross parties to be proud of over the last number of years, that in this whole area of recognising the identities of people, and again the sexual orientation. Obviously we've had a groundbreaking referendum on that whole area as well, which has thankfully resulted in a positive impact in relation to status, and been able to result in civil marriage as well. So, look, I welcome the debate and the work that has been done by the Fianna Fáil senators on this bill, and I look forward to the Minister's responses and views.
Thank you.